Good morning, everyone. It's Lynn Dunn from Stamptastic Designs. Thanks so much for joining me today. So, I have some fun card ideas that I want to share that actually feature the exclusive stamp set that comes with Paper Pumpkin. So, this is the February 2021 Paper Pumpkin. So, I'm going to show you how to create some different cards using this particular stamp set. So, there's like 7 different images in here, but we're going to focus on using this large floral. So that is what we are going to use for our cards today. So I have 3 different card ideas and just some fun way to use your designer paper. Now, the Paper Pumpkin Kit, in case you are not familiar with it, came with 3 different card ideas, and we made 9 total cards. We made 3 of each of these 3 different designs. So this is the second design, and they all have coordinating envelopes. And then this is the last one. So after I got done making the kit, then I decided to play with the stamp set and make some additional cards. So that's what I'm going to share with you today. Now, even though I'm featuring this exclusive stamp set, which you can no longer get, you can still use the card designs that I'm going to share here today with any stamp set that you have on hand. So think about what you have on hand and how you can incorporate that into the cards I'm going to share today. So good morning, everybody. Good morning. So I'm going to set these aside. We're going to start with this particular card. So this is just a quick and simple way to add color to your stamped images without having to actually color them. So all I'm going to do is really stamp this image right over this pretty pattern paper. Now the paper that I'm using is from the Plain with Patterns Designer Series paper pack. So this is what it looks like. And it comes with this design already on it. I just cut it down to a 3 by 4 inch piece. So that's what this is here. And you can see it's got a different pattern on the back. So I'm just going to use some Night of Navy ink. Let me grab my stuff here. Good morning. So this is a great way to use those stamp images that require some coloring. This way you don't actually have to color it. You can just stamp it. And the pattern paper will add the color for you. There you go. Okay, so let me show you this card design. So I started with a piece of white cardstock for the base of my card. I accidentally tore it. Sorry, guys. I got so excited making these cards yesterday. I just got carried away. So mine's already torn. I just tore a little bit off the side here. And that's because what I'm going to do, let me just move this out of the way a minute, is I'm going to add some pattern paper on the inside. So this is just a 1 by 5.5 inch piece. And I know I've shown you guys this before, but I like that tearing on the right side of the card front because then you can add a little piece of paper on the inside. So you kind of decorate the inside and the outside of your card at the same time. So it shows through once you have your card closed. Okay, so that's the inside. Let me just smooth this down a little bit here. All right, so now we're going to take our stamped image and we're just going to add it to the card front. And we'll go up a little bit. And I'm just adding it right against the edge of the card. And then, of course, I did some more paper tearing. I just have a little 1 by 3 inch piece of purple posy cardstock. So I chose that color just because that's the color that's on the bottom here. And I'm going to cover some of that up. So I wanted to keep the colors kind of flowing the same. So we'll add that. And then I have to grab my greeting here. And then I just use one of the greetings from this particular stamp set. So again, you can use whatever you have on hand. And I just have this is a 1/2 inch wide by 3-inch piece of white cardstock that I just stamped my little greeting on. And that's it. And then you can just go ahead and embellish it with, anything that you want. I'm using a couple little, what are they? Little enamel dots or faceted dots. You can use pearls, whatever you want. So kind of look around your craft room, see what kind of stamp sets you have that are kind of like this. Grab your pattern paper and you can make these fun little cards. Now I just want to show you some of the other ones that I made. So let me set this over to the side. So this is one particular pattern, but then I took a couple of the other patterns that were in the pack and made some additional cards. So you can see it's the exact same design. I just changed out the pattern papers and the cardstock to get it a little different look. So here's a purple one, the purple posy, and then here's the last one. So this particular technique works really well with, pattern papers that have a smaller design on it, not like bold flowers or anything. You got to find you know, some pattern paper that kind of looks like watercoloring or has a little bit of stripes in it, and it just gives it a really nice look. So, all right, so that is the stamping on pattern paper. So the next one I want to show you is I took the same stamp set or the same stamp, this floral, and I stamped it around the outer part of a piece of pattern paper. So you can do this with just cardstock as well. It doesn't have to be pattern paper. So let me show you how to do this. So this is the paper I'm using. This is another piece from that Playing with Patterns Designer Series paper pack. And I just have to clean my stamp. So let me do that. So this time I'm going to use the same color ink as the color of my pattern paper. So that is Coastal Cabana. And I need a scrap piece paper. Move this out of the way. And then all I'm going to do is just ink up this image with Coastal Cabana. And I'm really just going to use the top part of the image, but I'll just ink the whole thing. And I'm just going to go around and stamp it right around the edge of this piece of designer paper. I'll just keep turning it. So I'm going to go all the way around first, kind of out of each of the corners, and then I'll just come back and fill it in. And I might be able to get this a little closer. So again, you can do the same thing. Find a fun little image that you can do this with and create a really nice little background for your card. And let's see if I can squeeze a little bit in here. Okay. All right, so that is how we create the background. So actually, before we do that, hold on, bring this back. So I also cut a piece for the inside of the card, so I'm going to decorate that as well. So we'll just stamp the same kind of thing on this piece. And then we'll use this to decorate the inside of our card. Let's see. Okay, so now we have that done. Now we can put our card together. Okay, so now I just have another piece of white cardstock, just kind of using same thing I did for the other one. So we'll start by adding this piece to the outside. So this is just I suppose I didn't tell you that. This is just a 5 1/4 by 4-inch piece of the Coastal Cabana designer paper. That's what I used. And then I just cut a little rectangular shape. This is from, I just used the Stitched So Sweetly dies. And I just wanted it just big enough for my little greeting there. And then I just cut a couple pieces of this polka dot tulle. So I'm just gonna layer these together and I'm gonna twist them. So I get like kind of a little fluffy bow kind of. And then I'm gonna add it to the back of this. And I'm just gonna use a little bit of tear and tape just to kind of hold this in place. So that's just kind of a fun way to use your ribbon or your tool, is just kind of twist it and then add it to the back of your whatever shape you're using. And where's my dimensionals? Here they are. Then we'll just pop this up on the card. And then you can embellish this with anything you want, but I really like the butterflies, so I'm just going to use some butterflies that I already had on hand. They were already stamped. So we'll add this here. And then we'll add our little butterfly. Let's cut this. Sorry, I'm just adding some dimensionals to my butterfly real quick. And then I'm just going to add a little bit of glue here. So we'll pop this butterfly up on the corner there, and then you can embellish it, with whatever you have, pearls or whatever. So on the inside, this is what the inside looks like. So I used the sorry for your loss on the outside, and then just a little sentiment on the inside, and then put my designer paper. So that is what we stamped here. This designer paper piece, we can just put that on the inside. So it's a great way to coordinate the inside and the outside of your card. And it's also a great way to use up any scrap paper from cutting that original piece. So, all right, so that's what this card looks like. So I hope you thought that was pretty easy. And then the last card I want to share is just another fun way to use this image. Of course, you can do the coloring like I just showed you, where you can use your pattern paper to do the coloring, or you can actually do some coloring. So that's what I did on here. I just used some Stampin' Blends to color this. And I'll just show you the quick design here. So the first thing I did is I just cut a 2 by 4 1/4 inch piece of pattern paper and just adhered it right across the center of the card front. And I already did my coloring just because I wanted to show you the design. So you can use any coloring tools. You can use, pencils, markers, whatever you want to color your images. I like to use my stamping blends because they're just so quick and easy, but you can use whatever you prefer. And then you'll just color, your image. So I'm just, again, using one of those die cuts from that Stitched So Sweetly die set. So that's just going to go right on the front. And then I just cut this is 3/4 by 4 1/4. And I'm just going to add my greeting. So I'm just using Night of Navy. I don't like how that turned out. Well, it'll be good enough. I didn't like how it turned out. Here's my dimensionals. And then I'm just adding dimensionals on each side because this is already popped up, so I don't have to pop up the center of this piece. I just want it to lay right on top of my bouquet of flowers there. And then we'll just add this. And then the last thing I did was just add a couple little hearts. So these are those little resin hearts. Just to embellish it there. And that's it. That's how easy that is. All right, let me get some of this out of the way here and we'll bring those back. So this particular paper pumpkin kit was called Bouquet of Hope. Oops, here we go. And so besides creating, the cards that came in the kit, I also put together some additional cards just using the stamp set. So I like to show you how to use, the exclusive stamp set that comes in the kit. So I thought these would be some fun and simple ideas to share with all of you. So I did provide the link in the description with this video. You can go out to my blog and see all of these cards out there and get some information on the next paper pumpkin kit that's coming out, which next month in April is a really cool kit. It is called, I think it's called So Cool. And it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. It has some popsicles and other fun designs. So check that out. But that's what I wanted to share with you today. So play around with the pattern papers that you have on hand and pull out your stamps and start stamping on your pattern papers to create some beautiful cards. So I hope you guys enjoyed these card ideas. Have a wonderful Sunday, and I will see you again next week. Take care, everybody.